Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades in the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of the social media accounts. Also, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I did finish the week with, let's see, 20 wins, 3 losses for a win rate of 86.96% for the week. You know, I did exceed my weekly goal of 80%, but, you know, the 3 losses I took were unnecessary losses after looking back, and I could have gone flawless this week, but it is what it is. Usually when I play lottos, I just let them go to 0, you know, and if I end up taking a loss, I make it up on size on the next one or 2 plays. So that's why I'm not too worried about letting them go to 0. That's why you need to manage your own risk. Like I always say, use risk management, and also this is not financial advice whatsoever. This is my plays and what I'm doing, and if you choose to take them, that's at your own discretion. So you need to have a plan and manage your own risk. So with that said, I'll get into the plays. Now Monday, let's see, I had 4 wins and 1 loss. So I played a lot of SPY. I think I only played 1 or 2 tickets that weren't SPY. But the Trade Ideas channel, if you're new to the room, you don't know what that is. I place 2 to 3 plays pre-market, 10 minutes before the bell, what I like, and when I wait for the levels to break or close to break, then I jump in and I said SPY puts under 430. SPY puts under 430, and Facebook calls over 300. And I took the SPY puts right here, right under 30. Now it started to pop up. I did not break the 430. Well, 430 was down here. I kind of rounded down a little bit because it's so close to the level. But when it first popped up, the first 10-minute candle right here, you could see that it started to pop and quickly rejected. So I changed my position to right here, that I'd take it underneath the 430, you know, 50-ish area below these candles, and that's what I did. So I got the 428 puts at 213, and then went to 476. So that was a nice little play if he held all the way through. Yeah, 428. I think that was just this area right here. I think they made that move. 428. Yeah, I think it was this. Then I took the 432 calls on SPY at 1011, which is right here at the bottom bounds. I'm not quite sure why I took it right there. 24. Let's see, where was this? 440. Oh yeah, I took it right here because of it's down what, 15 points from 440. Usually it's, you know, 10 points, but you know, 15 is what I was looking at on SPY, and so I took it right here. I mean, you gotta think that, you know, we're up here at 440 and it's down here. I was kind of hesitant about taking it down here at the 430 when I took it down here because of the being down 10 points, and usually SPY doesn't like to go beyond 10 points, but this week it's gone beyond 10 points a couple times, and I made a comment in the room a couple times that 15 is the new 20, because usually that's what's been happening. It's been taking 15 points ranges, and this is about the 15-point range right here, and this is where I ended up taking it right in here at 10:11, which this is 10 o'clock. So yeah, I took it the next candle when it got right above this one right here, right above the 427 area. I grabbed the 432 calls at $1.40, and they went to from $1.40 to 239. So went from 213 to 476, then to 140 to 239 right here. So that was a nice little play. Then I ended up grabbing calls again. I think I bought it. What time? No, I bought it at 11:39, which I think is right here at this candle. Now, I'm looking at it from the point of view that these market makers like to come back and retest the lower day, and sometimes they'll jerk it below really quick. They'll take out stops before they make a run for it. So I grabbed it right here and it popped. Then when it dropped more, I ended up stopping out, and I shouldn't have stopped out. I should have stayed with it because look at the massive run. This was an unnecessary loss that I didn't need to take, but yeah. So I took it right here at 11:30, and I tried to catch this move. Then it flushed, and I stopped out down here. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just said, I'm keeping it. I mean, I don't know why I stopped out right there. I should have just stayed with it. But yeah, I stopped out. Yeah, I got it at 190 to 428 calls at 190, and it went to and I stopped out at 165. So it's like a 25-cent loss. But I should have stayed with it. That shouldn't have been a loss at all. But I did that 3 times. All 3 losses this week were because of stupid, mistakes like that. I should have just stayed in it and played the lottos the way I always do. I usually don't stop out. I usually if I don't get it right, then I end up making it the next time or the time after that and making it up. So yeah, I just a little perturbed about me stopping out the losses this week. But anyways, then I took SPX puts at 123, which is right here, right at the rejection of the that's the 37 EMA. So I grabbed it right in here. I grabbed the SPX 4210 puts at 275, and I got from 275 to 460 in this move right here. So that was a nice little play right there. It didn't quite reject VWAP right away. It popped up and came back down. When it popped up, I was looking at it right here. Then when I saw it starting to come down, that's where I ended up grabbing it right there. So at 123. So then I ended up grabbing, let's see, another round of SPX puts, this time at 214, which I think is right here. Yeah, 214, right here. Oh, I think I remember chasing this one, yeah. I got the 4230 puts this time because right here I had the 4210, and now I adjusted my strike. That's why I never average down on a day of expiration, because they usually don't end up working out. You don't want to add to a loser position. Instead of adding to a loser position, just change your expiration, change your strike and get it closer at the money strike, and you'll end up doing better and making up probably your loss, if not more. So yeah, when I grabbed it right here, I was looking at the double top, but I always get worried that whenever SPY has these double tops near the end of the day, they like to squeeze the crap out of them, but they didn't. So when I saw this nasty red candle right here, I chased it. I grabbed it right here. I grabbed the 4230 puts at $3, and they went from $3 to $5.70 right there. So that was a nice little play. Then it ended up squeezing all day long. I should have kept my call. So yeah, that was my Monday. Then on Tuesday I had SPY again. I only had 3 wins, only had 3 plays. I grabbed let's see what I said, trade ideas room. SPY puts at the 431 and Netflix calls over 390. So under 431, which is right here. I see the pre-market low right there. Popped up, came back, broke under it right there. So I grabbed it. I grabbed the 439 puts at $4.90, and they went from 490 to 763. The IV was, the implied volatility was through the roof because of the ranges, and SPY was just so ridiculous high. I did not like buying SPY at almost $5 a contract when you usually get them on a non-expiration day at the money right around $1.50 or so. So they just shows you how expensive they were. I mean, 431 at the money, 430 puts were almost $5. That's just ridiculous. So you had to play it, and hope that they didn't chop it and turn into an IV crush. So, but this play worked out really well. Then I ended up grabbing 430 puts again at 10. Yeah, see, the first candle was right here. Then it didn't break it till the second candle. This is where I ended up grabbing the first time, when it went to 763 right there. Then I ended up grabbing it the second time at 1031, which is right here. Yeah, right here. This is where I grabbed it. I grabbed the 430 puts at 45 this time, and then went from 45 to 612. So that ended up working out pretty good. Then I ended up taking 436 calls at 2. I can't see what's the timestamp on that. 212, which is rate 212. Oh yeah, I grabbed it right up here. I know I was watching it right here. It was making a symmetrical triangle and it broke out. I just didn't trust it when it broke out. I figured, if it broke out of this little triangle, because I had a triangle drawn in the room. If it broke out, that I was worried it was going to triple top and fail. So when it popped up, and then it pulled back because it just went straight up. After it made this pullback to the 200 EMA, I grabbed the little breakout right here. This is where I ended up grabbing it at 212, right in this candle. So I grabbed the 436 calls at 464, and they went from 464 to 675. So that was a nice little play right there. I didn't want to chase it here. I was thinking, like I said, it was a triple top here, and I didn't want to chase it. I wanted to wait for a pullback, and then this was the pullback I was waiting for. Then that's where I ended up grabbing it. So that is what happened on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we had FOMC. Let's see. Now let's see what I had in the room on the 26 SPY puts on the 439, Roku calls over 158, Facebook calls over 309. So I had 438 puts at 933 rate when it dropped below the 431. 439. Yeah, well, that was down here, but because it popped up, I grabbed it when it broke below right this level here. Initially, I had it down here because of this little area right in here, but because it tried to pop up and it came back down, I readjusted my my entry to right here, the 439.67-ish area. So that's where I ended up grabbing it. I grabbed the 438 puts at 299, and they went to 355. So that was a nice little push right there. Then I ended up grabbing 443 calls at 953. I switched to the other side at 953, which is right here when it broke out over this level. So I grabbed it here, got this little dump right here. Doesn't look like much, but it was almost a dollar dump right there. Then it popped back up and came back up to the pre-market highs of the 441.50-ish area. So that's where I bought the 443 calls at 304, and then went to 357. Then it quickly rejected, so I grabbed the 440 puts at 1014, which is right here. When they get this harsh rejection, I kind of chase. Well, sometimes when I have a harsh rejection, I don't like to chase that. I wait for like a little pullback, or like not a pullback, but actually, yeah, you can say a retracement. So when it dumped right here, instead of trying to grab it down here, it likes to like retrace like 50% of the candle, and I kind of grabbed it up in here. So that's where I ended up grabbing the puts, the 440 puts at $3.10, and went to 476. So I probably did get it closer to down here, but I did chase it a little bit. But another, 310 to 476 was a nice little play, so I can't complain about that. So yeah, we caught it here for a little drop, but it didn't drop much. Then it popped, fake out right here, then it slammed back down. So we caught all three moves just in this little first, hour move of the day. Then we just sat out the rest of the day until FOMC. Then we had the FOMC strangle play, which I had 4,300 puts at 410 and 4,500 calls at 475. I was not liking the spread on that, so it was $100 spread. So yeah, the puts, we had them right before it started. So the 410 puts went to 14.30, and the 45 calls went to $10. So yeah, you got the calls at 475, and they went to $10 when it popped up. Then it dropped, and we got this drop right here. So that's why when you end up holding, the first move is usually the wrong one. It popped up, then it finally dropped. So usually you get 2 to 3 moves on FOMC. So that I'm quite happy with on that. So yeah. First it popped, then it dropped. Sometimes you get another move at 330, so it did look good right there. It had a nice good play. I just did not like the $100 100-point spread on that. I did not like that. So, but we played it, and it ended up working out really well. So I can't complain about that. So that ended up working out good. So Thursday I had, let's see, Thursday was what? The 27th, okay. Thursday I had 4 wins and 1 loss. I started out with a loss on SPY. Get the right day. The 28th, no, 27th. Right. Let's see. Yeah, 27th. Now, let's see, I had in the trade ideas room, Netflix calls over 382.50. Costco, no, Roku calls, yeah, Costco calls over 492, and SPY puts under 435. So 435, which was right down here. I used this low rate here, but it kept going up and it started to pop, but I kind of grabbed it right here. I grabbed the 436 puts right there, popped up, and I ended up stopping out up here. So I got them at $4. I stopped at a 285. I should have, held it, and they had this massive nosedive. I should have just stuck with it, and it would have ended up being a good play. But it is what it is. Another loss I took. Didn't need to. I literally took it right out here. I stopped out up here. I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference if I just held it just a couple more, 20 more minutes, and it would have turned green. But it is what it is. So then I ended up getting SPY puts again, because the first ones I had was 436 puts, but I did get the 439s right at 1021, which is right here in this candle. I think I chased it a little bit at least, maybe, unless I got it right here. 10, what was it, 1021? So yeah, I got it pretty close. I could probably go down to the 1 minute and see exactly where I grabbed it. 1021. No, yeah, 1021. So it would be this 1021. This candle right here. Oh yeah, I remember it dropped and it came back up. That's where I ended up grabbing it. So yeah, let's see. Go back to the 10 minute. Make sure I get the right day. There we go. Blow this up. Yeah, so I got it in this candle right in here in this little drop. So the 439 puts, I got at 394, and they went to 607 in that drop. Then I ended up grabbing puts again at 1101, which I believe is right here. I remember when it got up into here, this is where I ended up grabbing it, because this is where it chopped, then it broke down, it came back here and retested the breakdown area. So that's where I ended up grabbing it again. I grabbed the 439 puts again, this time at $3.60, and they went to 360 to $10 if he held all the way through. Then I ended up grabbing calls at 113, which is right here. 113. Right here. No, right here I grabbed it. Yeah, right here. This is where I ended up grabbing it. Right when it broke below the RCT trend line, and this is where I ended up taking it off. These 434 calls went from 334 to 379, so I got it right in here, and it bounced like almost $2, $1.50, and that's where the 334 to 377 was right here. I remember taking that because I remember saying that if it did make a new low right here, I was grabbing it, and this is where I grabbed it, and it did bounce enough for me to get out right there. So then I ended up taking him again at 121, which was right here when it broke down right here, this one. And this time they went from 290 to 412. So yeah, I caught the 434 calls here on that little jump right there. And I caught him down here again too. So that was a nice little play. So that was a second loss for the week, because I think my third one was Friday. Yeah, Friday was my last one. Now Friday I took Netflix right out the gate. Now I sit in the trade ideas room that Netflix puts under 380, SPY puts under 430, Microsoft calls over 303. So right when it broke below this 380 level, well, I think I got it closer up here because it popped up, came back down. I grabbed it right here. I grabbed the 380 puts at $4.15. They went from 415 to 710 in that little drop. And that's the only other ticket I played besides SPY and SPX. So it's at Netflix at one time. Then I ended up taking SPY puts rate at 1020, which is right here. I grabbed it right here, right before I rejected the 20 EMA, the 200 EMA. I grabbed it right here, and through 432 puts went from 258 to 416 in that little drop, down to VWAP. Then I grabbed the SPX 4300 puts at 1148, which is right 1148. 1148 right here. Right here. I grabbed it right in this candle and it popped. Now, I grabbed them at $3.90. I stopped out at $2. I think I grabbed it right before it popped right here. But if I held it, it would have ended up being green, having a nice little play on that. So, but it is what it is. Then I ended up grabbing because these were the 4,300 puts I had at $3.90 right here, and I grabbed them again at 1246, which is right here in this candle. As you can see, it popped back up and consolidated, made like a little head and shoulders left, head and right shoulder. Grabbed it right here. They went from 295 to 320, not that much of a move. Then I grabbed the 4315 puts at 207, which should be right here. Yeah, right here. Popped back up. This is where it broke down. Came back and retested it. Kept rejecting it. And when it finally broke down right here, I grabbed the 4315 puts at $3.20. And they went to $9.40 right there. So then you had this crazy end of the day. Actually, I didn't even touch that. I called it. I mean, I took 3 losses this week. All 3 losses were unnecessary losses. That would have been a flawless week, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. So I did have a great week. I had a great January. There's only one more day of the month, so hoping to finish very, very strong. Probably having one of my best months I've had since I've had the room open. So with that said, that's going to do it for the recap, and I hope this has helped you understand where and why I took what I did, and thanks for watching.